Another thing that Sir John A. Macdonald did during his first time in office as Prime Minister from 1867 to 74 was to create one of the most well-known symbols of Canada, although he would never know it at the time. This was, of course, the iconic Mounties, otherwise known as the Royal Canadian Mounted Police of today. In 1873, the Red River Rebellion and the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba, the governor of the Hudson Bay Company, both reported to him that the western parts of Canada, known as the Northwest Territories, would never be safe for the permanent settlement of settlers under the lawlessness unless it was brought under control. Then one night in 1869, while taking a bath and also extraordinarily drunk at the same time, John A. Macdonald suddenly called for his good friend Sir George Chincoche to tell him he had an idea for a 500-man mounted rifle company to police the Northwest Territories of the Dominion of Canada. After passing the Northwest Mounted Police Act in May 1873, the Mounties came into being. They became known as the Northwest Mounted Police, as Sir George Chincoche had thought that a so-called mounted rifle company sounded too much like a military expedition to most people, in particular to the American government. For as Macdonald had said, quote, they are to be a purely civil, not a military body, with as little lace, gold fuss, and fine feathers as possible. Not a crack cavalry regiment, but an efficient police force for the rough and ready, particularly the ready, enforcement of law and justice. After recruiting and training the 350 Mounties, the commissioner, George French, led them on an almost 200-mile march across the western Canadian prairies for their Great March West. Their destination was a place called Fort Whoop-Up in the western part of the Northwest Territories. Fort Whoop-Up was selling illegally made alcohol to native peoples, who were easily addicted to it as they had never before experienced the mind-altering effects of alcohol before. So it was the Mounties' job to stop the whiskey trade in Western Canada. The ironic thing was that John A. Macdonald probably wanted to appease Sir Samuel Tilley, who was a temperance movement fanatic. Tilley also wanted to make all alcohol legal in Canada, so that is why he sent the Mounties west. This is one of the great ironies in Canadian history, that Macdonald, who was a lifelong alcoholic, sent the Mounties to the west in order to stop all the whiskey trade in Western Canada, just to permanently please Tilley. So the Mounties are as much Tilley's invention as they are Macdonald's as well. After almost 200-mile march, the Northwest Mounted Police got to Fort Whoop-Up, but they discovered that the Americans had already abandoned it when they heard the Mounties were coming to arrest them for whiskey trading. The Mounties would settle down in their own forts and eventually made the Northwest Territories a safe place to settle. In fact, one of Macdonald's biggest fears was the Americans would take the western part of Canada away from them, short of actually going to war over it. He also feared the Canadian West would become like the famous Wild West south of the border. Macdonald once said, quote, it is quite evident to me that the United States can do all they can, short of war, to get possession of the Western Territories, and we must therefore take immediate and vigorous steps to counteract them. This is what the Mounties were designed to prevent from happening, so the Canadian West did not become anything remotely like the American West did. In fact, Macdonald got letters from American presidents and the American ambassador saying that the American West was even more lawless than it had been before. The credit to that efficiency goes to the Mounties, who always get their man, at least unofficially, and the approach the Mounties don't scare worth a cent, as one American newspaper put it, as they always maintain the draught in Latin, or it is maintaining or defending the right/law, as their official motto has always stated since 1873.